Saw Palmetto, does it actually help with hair loss? Yes, it really does help with hair loss. Have I ever had any side effects from taking it? No, not that I can recall. And I've been taking it for quite a long time, and I've never had any side effects. I've only had actually benefits of it. Has it lowered my libido? Not that I can recall. My libido's pretty high. And, I always laugh when the carnivorous Weston A. Price people say that if you eat vegan, that your testosterone is going to be so low, and your libido is going to go down, and you're not going to be able to reproduce. I think that's so funny because totally the opposite is true in my experience. My libido is right through the roof. Never had a problem with that. And, so a lot of the stuff people say, they're just saying out of their rear, They aren't using any common sense. They aren't using any wisdom. And they're just, in many cases, jealous because maybe they aren't getting the results, And so they're dissatisfied with themselves. And so they go and try to attack others who are having success, and they try to bring them down to their level. But guess what? It's not going to ever happen, because as long as I'm getting results, and as long as, my hair's growing, and I feel good, and I feel confident, and I'm getting healthier, guess what? I'm always going to continue to do what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to eat healthy. I'm going to take good care of myself, and I'm going to continue to preach the message about nutrition and health. No matter what anyone says, or no matter what kind of attacks that I receive, or anything like that. The other thing is, a lot of times, when people say, well, there hasn't been any studies proving this or proving that, well, that's not true, because there has been studies done using saw palmetto. Go look on the channel's comment section below, and I put a link to studies that were done using saw palmetto, and it's very effective at inhibiting type 1 and type 2 5-alpha reductase, DHT. And if you can inhibit that, then the logical reasoning is that it should help slow down, stop, or sometimes reverse your hair loss problem. The other thing I thought that would be worth mentioning in this video is that a lot of times hair loss and problems with our hair are related to our endocrine system. And, it would make sense then that natural herbs like saw palmetto, maca, and some other ones would be very helpful because they're all beneficial for the endocrine system. So if you can strengthen your endocrine system, then it's going to be beneficial for your hair. But don't take my word for it. Look that stuff up on Google and you can read about all that. Because it is tied in. The body is holistic. The body is one whole system. And sometimes when certain parts of your body are degenerating or they're not as healthy as they could be, that can affect other parts of your body, including your hair, and including your eyes, and including your skin. Remember, the body is holistic. You must treat the body in a holistic manner and fashion. So, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that, Dr. Mercola, who does have a wealth of knowledge and information, he spent his whole life and career in a lot of these things, and although I don't agree with him on everything, he did make a video on saw palmetto, and he says it's a very good thing to take, especially for your prostate. Now, of course, I don't have an enlarged prostate, and I obviously probably never will because I eat very healthy, and I take saw palmetto, but I'm not taking saw palmetto for my prostate, although it is benefiting my prostate, which is, again, important because if you're benefiting your body in one area or the other, it's going to benefit your whole body because, again, the body is holistic. You got to treat the body in a holistic fashion. So he went on to say that if he had known about saw palmetto earlier on, when he was younger, when he was going through his hair loss and his male pattern baldness, he believes that he could have slowed that down or, stopped it or whatever. But, of course, he hadn't known about that back then, and he didn't look into it. So, for him to say something like that would be kind of silly if he didn't think that saw palmetto was actually beneficial for your hair. So, you got a well-respected man who's been studying health and nutrition for a very long time who is actually promoting saw palmetto. And yet I laugh when there's these other people that come on the YouTube channel, and they attack me, or, they call you estrogen dominant. They say that there's been no studies done using saw palmetto. Look up Dr. Rudy Merck. Dr. Mercola had an interview with Dr. Rudy Merck, I think that was his last name, and they had a whole long lecture about saw palmetto and its benefits. So I just laugh when people come on the channel, and try to knock me down or knock natural herbs down when clearly they haven't even looked into it themselves. And the other thing is, you can't really believe a lot of what people say because, for one thing, most of these people, they just signed up and made a new YouTube account. They don't have any videos, and they come out of the blue, and they just say stuff like that. So I'm not stupid, and like if people, people know, like people really honestly they know. There's people out there that create new YouTube accounts because maybe they were blocked, so they create a fake account and they come back on your channel and they pretend that they're somebody else, whereas they were really the other person that you blocked, and they're trying to attack you again. That's just the way the world is. It's stupid, like, people really waste their time on silly stuff like that, It doesn't make any sense, I know that you ask people questions, but they can't give you a straight answer because they're probably too embarrassed, because they know that would make them look bad if they really truthfully answered your questions. So the bottom line of this video is that don't diss saw palmetto and don't think that it's not going to be beneficial for you unless you've actually looked at it. Go to Wikipedia, read about it. Go on Google, read about saw palmetto. Go over to Hair Loss Buddy and type in saw palmetto on Google, and there's a humongous long list of people on Hair Loss Buddy, saw palmetto, the article. Underneath, a huge long list of people that have been taking it that have had benefits. And if that's not enough to convince you, then Avalon Organics is a shampoo and conditioner company. Okay, they make shampoos. Well, they created this shampoo called B-Biotin Complex Therapy Shampoo. And if you go to iHerb and you type that shampoo in there, there's over 2,000 reviews, testimonials of people raving about that. And guess what? It had saw palmetto in it, and that's one of the reasons why people use that shampoo. And you know what else? It's got 5-star ratings, which is the highest rating you can even put on iHerb. So over 2,000 people. Then you got the website Hair Loss Buddy. You got hairlossresearch.org that has a good article on saw palmetto. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence. And people calling me estrogen dominant, that's so stupid. Because, like, I'm not estrogen dominant. I'm more manly and have more testosterone than most people have. And you think that just because you eat meat and eat your eggs, and take your testosterone boosting supplements, that you're more manly, and you think that, you're healthier. That's stupid, Very, very stupid. And no one's ever going to take someone like that seriously. Especially when you have to resort to name-calling and stuff like that. So this video isn't directed towards anyone specific. It's just a video basically explaining why I think it's really laughable how people can just, attack an herb and say that it's not beneficial and that even causes side effects. Guess what, guys? How many people have died from taking drugs? A lot. A lot of people have died from taking drugs because drugs are poison. For people that believe in God and read the Bible, in Revelations it says that herbs are for the healing of nations. Notice that it doesn't say that drugs are for the healing of nations. Herbs are for the healing of nations. Okay? They grow outside. The Creator created them. And they're biocompatible with our human body because our body can recognize them. but your body can't recognize a drug that was created in a lab. Okay? Pharmaceutical industry takes advantage of people. They just want to create more money. It's all about the money. It's not about the health of you as an individual. So, with that being said, you know, if you are dealing with male pattern baldness, okay, if you got a genetic predisposition to this, if you're suffering with hair loss, or even if you have an enlarged prostate, you know, give saw palmetto a try. Don't take drugs, guys. Don't take drugs. Seriously. I care about the people that watch these videos. I care about people's health. Don't take drugs. You don't need them. So hopefully, you know, this video has really sparked in you an interest to take better care of yourself and use natural, safe things, okay? Because I don't know anybody that's taken saw palmetto and has died from it or had some serious side effect. And if they did have some serious side effect, they probably didn't follow the directions on the label. You know, you only need to take like 1 or 2. You don't treat an herb as food, okay? You treat herbs as medicine, natural medicine. You don't treat an herb as food, and people sometimes go overboard with it. You don't need so much of it, you just need a little bit of it, okay, to get an effect. And people that go overboard, or they buy a herb from a bad company, like in your local grocery store that has all these unnatural ingredients added to it, and then they experience bad side effects, don't blame that herb. Blame the company, the low quality company that produced it. Blame the unnatural ingredients. And if you're still having bad side effects and you're not following the directions, then blame yourself for not actually following the directions. You know? Because people that have side effects and get stuff like that, it's because they don't actually take it the right way. Because maybe they get so hyped up that they think more is better. Well, that's not always the case. So, hopefully this video is, you know, giving you a lot more common sense about this subject. So don't be afraid of saw palmetto. It's not, you know, saw palmetto doesn't hide under your bed. It's not going to, you know, strangle you while you're sleeping. It's not going to kill you. You know, don't be afraid of saw palmetto. I've been taking it for a very, very long time. And believe me, it has not made me more feminine. If anything, it's made me more masculine because it helps to balance male hormones. So, you know, I'll leave it to you guys what to think, but at least I gave you good information here. And check out all those links I told you. Hair Loss Buddy, iHerb, that shampoo, read all those testimonials. And if that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will.